Warm welcome. This is Markus Termin at the 11th of June 2024. This is the chart of the moment, and you will realize the sun up there in the sign of Gemini with a whole lot of planets in Gemini has this nice sextile angle to optimistic Mars in the sign of Leo. The problem, however, is there are two major square aspects, of which is the one exact today, Mars in square position to Pluto. What does that mean? Mars is in the sign of Taurus out for material expansion. He wants to have more income. He wants to own more. He wants to grab into reality and open up reality in a sense of what I do have in my hand is better than what I have in my head, for instance, And this square position to Pluto means that there's a struggle in private life and also in general life towards the idea of freedom. Because after all, we are not defined by what we own. Actually, basically anybody knows that on a human level, everybody owns his body if it's not in question by some, for instance, crazy governmental ideas, But anyway, we should own our body, and that's about it. And the other idea of owning anything, I'm not talking about communism. That's a crazy idea. That's not about it. But to think that civilization will stay at the point of materialistic organization that the world is in right now is a crazy idea. This won't go on for thousands and thousands of years, and there are more years to come, definitely, and society is going to change very, very basically, but it's not going to be so quick, anyhow. But this square position is the position freedom, having, or being. Being is Aquarius in this sense, and having in this sense is Taurus. Why not get rid of some of the bondage that holds you back from grabbing your freedom? This is one advice that a crazy astrologer could give you. Then the second square is the square in between all those Gemini planets to Pluto, flavored with Neptune, still flavored with Neptune, the Piscean and the information forces. So there's a difference in between spiritual things, even if spiritual things mean dissolving orders, dissolving churches, dissolving beliefs. I lost my religion. There's a song about that. I didn't, but lots of people do. And the square position to the idea of knowledge, So we have the knowledge now that, for instance, the churches, when they went compliant and blah, 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 that. And this is one of the square things, It's not a self-runner, to put it that way. So there's one nice angle that's kind of ground base and overall, but two major squares at the same time. And one of those major squares, the Pluto and Mars major square, as I said it yesterday, is even considered as being dangerous. Now, a lot of astrologers say don't put it that on a high level, because Pluto, Neptune and Uranus are being considered as unpersonal planets because they move very, very slow. They are newly discovered. They came to the system of astrology throughout the 19th century and the 20th century. So they don't have any old honors, really. They didn't serve all through the age of astrology, the ages of astrology, actually throughout the last 10,000 years, 12,000 years, even more. And we have sgraffitis of that. We have carvings in stones that are 12,000 years old and show a zodiac, actually. Interesting, isn't it? And but yes, they are kind of generational, but it's not true that they are not personal. There are many astrologers who say they are not personal. That is just not true. Because if you have, for instance, this person, if this would be a chart of a person to be born with an Aquarius rising sign at the same time. Oh, it's the other way around. It's not Aquarius rising because camera turns it around. It's Leo rising in this chart, but it's Aquarius on the opposite side, on the house of partnership, actually, in this way. Well, let's put it around and imagine this would be an Aquarius rising person, And if Aquarius would be rising and Pluto would be at the rising sign, that means this is a Plutonic personality, which means anything and anybody that is in contact with this personality will feel the deep powers of transformation of Pluto. This will be a transformative personality if Pluto is at the rising sign. Let's put it the other way around and look from the real perspective. Rising Leo and Pluto, well, Pluto is not exactly at the declining point at the 7th house, but let's think Pluto would be there. That means this person gets the Plutonic powers always from the outside and kind of has to get used to it, or in other words, might even need a protection. So be careful about those messages. They are unpersonal and things like that. This is just useless draws in personal astrology. It just counts what is an outcome, what is really there to be felt, and there's a lot of to be felt with those outer planets, especially Neptune, Pluto and Uranus. I thank you very much for listening today. This is Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch. If you want to get in touch, use this email and mind the DE at the end. Down here at my blog site, you'll get the conditions for a consultation. See you tomorrow and hope you have a nice Leo moon day. Though there are 2 squares, can be optimistic too.